All right, my watch list for tomorrow. If you watched the video last night, you know we had RWLK on watch for today. It goes back on watch tomorrow because it kind of resolved that really tightening area to the upside. This is what it looked like in the chat room today when I called it over 30.50. I think I called it a 30.55 with a 30.25 stop because you had the early high of day. Let me get a line going here. We had an early high of day right here. And then we had this kind of lower high, and stocks, we know, stocks were holding up after the gap down, and things were starting to run. So that's where I came up with 30.55, just a simple kind of little base break. And what I like about that, somewhere in there, was that you had another catalyst just above the high of day break, and then yesterday afternoon's high, and then, well, yesterday would have been Friday afternoon's high, and then Friday's high, and then Thursday's high. You had stacked catalysts. We always look for those. In other words, kind of like dominoes stacked up to knock down, right? So anyway, 30.55 triggered. Next thing you know, we're lighting up the new highs ticker. Next thing you know, we're breaking all those catalysts, and it's up $2 in about 10 minutes. And ended up closing strong, but I'm selling the entire thing in parts up here just because it was ripping, and I don't ever look a gift spike in the mouth, okay? I want that back on watch again tomorrow, though, when you see how nicely that moves. It's spready, though. You got to trade small with it, and you got to have you know, pretty concise entries. All right. CYBR, another newer issue, opened at 25. What, 4 sessions ago? Went to 36. Now we're 3 days down in a row. Time to start watching that for a bounce. I don't have a trigger price or anything like that for you, but it's time to put that one on a chart looking for a bounce. GDOT, really nice breakout 4 sessions ago. Down 3 days in a row. I want to watch that one for a bounce. Craig, CREG, was on the watch list for today. It's still kind of flagging. It's still holding up okay. Could be putting in a higher low here. You can kind of see it there. So it might try to bottom and turn back up here. It might be putting in a higher low. So it's a cheapie, but I still think it's worth watching. MBT down to the early March lows, and it's come pretty quickly to get there. 3 days down in a row, not counting all these days, but you know, 3 days almost straight down in a row on decent volume. I want to watch for a bounce around $15 on MBT. LOCO goes back on watch. I didn't get a trade in this one today. It gapped down with the market, rallied, and it's holding up okay. I mean, it's pretty interesting. You can kind of picture a trend line here. Okay, so up over 35.80-ish, it looks like, would be kind of a nice little trend line break, and LOCO can get moving, so keep this one on a chart too. I don't, you know, it's still in a range right now, but I still think it's worth having on watch. FUEL. Had this spike back here and has done nothing ever since. Just been a quiet, do-nothing stock. But today, kind of snuck out of this little range. So I want to watch that for some, you know, for some follow-through. Maybe it's headed back up to retest 1860 later this week. So I definitely think FUEL needs to be on watch. TKMR, another down day, but now down to the 20-day and coming into some price support, you know, from the past here. So I want to watch TKMR for a bounce again. DGLY, this is a weird chart, but it has a very low float and a ton of shorts. Big percentage of shorts. So we had the gap up on Friday that got thwarted, then a gap down today. So there's nothing that clean about this thing the way it's trading. But you can see, like, this one candle right here today went from 1644 to almost 17 in 5 minutes. So, what I was watching after that was this little flag break through 17, big rally, but we ran out of trading day. So anyway, as I say in almost all of my videos, DGLY goes back on watch. I want to keep that one on watch almost every day. RWLK I already did. RADA, very nice spike today. Now, you know, you don't want to chase this after this kind of a move, but you do want to have this back on a chart because a lot of these low price stocks that have ripped have come all the way back down and then done nothing. RADA is one of the few that they say, hey, maybe there is something to this one. So this one needs to be on a chart every day going forward as well. Yeah, we might get some really nice trades in the chat room off the right setup. So, and then DSKY, I've been kind of having this one on the back burner in my mind here for a move back down to the kind of the IPO low around 16. But it did a little bit of increased volume over Friday today and did close near its highs. And look at the way it finished. 5-minute candles kind of got a big rally there at the end of the day. So maybe this is put in a higher low here today, and maybe it's up from here. So DSKI, another spready one though. That is my list. I'm going to leave it at that. Looking at my charts real quick, see about anything else I'm even close to being in love with. There's really not. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. You know what? That's plenty to watch. And, you know, running scanners as the group does throughout the day, we'll find other stuff to trade as well. So I'm going to leave it. That's plenty enough to start with, right? All right, I'll quit babbling. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.